Well, 26 years went by fast, huh?
Oh my God, if you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It doesn't feel like 26, like when I say 26 years, like now I don't even count the years anymore because it sounds so ridiculous. Like
Right.
26 whole years since my father's been gone. It's crazy. It's insane.
So, I want to talk to you about a documentary that you did.
Yes. So my documentary, I've been talking to you guys about it for
Well,
years,
okay.
like throughout the years. It
All
was
right.
called A Ruthless Scandal. It's finally happening. We're actually almost finished now. It was actually supposed to be set like for some time last year, but COVID threw everything off. Our production got set back. But it's a 4-part series, and I'm so excited. There's never been anything like this. There's not going to be anything like this ever again. I don't think anybody was even willing or wanted to talk about, especially my father's death. You know, it highlights a lot about his life, a lot of things that people didn't know, a lot of the things you didn't see in Straight Outta Compton, the things that were left out. And it's really the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it, you know, it really focuses on the scandals surrounding his death and the aftermath of his demise. And I know I talked about it for so many years. I think a lot of people thought that it wasn't going to happen. Like, this is something that I just kept talking about. It's finally here. Like I said, we're almost done. We're about to wrap. It's a 4-part series. There's so many people talking on this documentary. I'm so grateful that there's actually been more people than I expected, because it seems like for these 26 years, a lot of people had been just keeping their mouths shut and didn't want to talk about him for whatever reason. They talked about him in ways that it benefited themselves, but a lot of people didn't care about how support of what I'm doing and have been there for me and just have a lot of great things to say about him, and not just even great things, but also just telling their story and, you know, what they know, what they've seen, their relationship with my father, how he paved the way for them, opened many doors for them. The only thing I will say, honestly, is probably the only person that actually matters to this story that I'm telling, who hasn't talked on this so far, I'm just being completely honest, is Ice Cube. And, you know, it really breaks my heart that he hasn't spoken on this yet, because I grew up with his sons and I have a really good relationship with them. And his oldest one, I actually talked to him, and I asked him to reach out, you know, talk to his dad and ask him to speak on this. And he actually told me that Ice Cube was willing, he was going to do whatever for me, and he was down. And then, you know, since then, when we tried to book him to do the interview, he's been ducking and dodging. And it's weird to me when I see him on doing interviews like Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp, some athlete, speaking about my father and, you know, the whole NWA history. But he hasn't really done that for me, and I'm Eazy-E's daughter, you know, like, and this is a big special project. Again, there's never been anything like this. You're never gonna get anything like this probably ever again. And even in Straight Outta Compton, it didn't talk a lot about my father. It didn't delve into his life. That was about NWA as a collective and the brotherhood, and it definitely didn't focus on my father's death. And that's what this documentary is. And it's gonna be groundbreaking, jaw-dropping. I think that it's going to be something so spectacular, because we are in a time now where everything is an open book and everything is exposed and everything is out there, and people want to know real stories. And I think my dad's story, even if he wasn't famous, would still be so interesting, and this story would still be so jaw-dropping. But the fact that he is so iconic and he's a legendary figure, like, this is going to be groundbreaking. I mean, I don't even know anything else to say about it.
Wow, that's a lot. It's so good. Wow.
I know.
Cool.
It's
well, let me ask you. So let me ask you a question. So, do you have any like suspicions or like maybe like inclinations of why you think Ice Cube wouldn't talk about it?
To be honest, I don't know why Ice Cube wouldn't talk about my dad with me. I don't know, because he's been on many platforms, large and small, talking about Eazy-E. So I really don't know. I don't have the answer. We'd have to ask him, Ice Cube.
No, yeah, but would you be? What do you want to say? Like, what message do you want to say?
Again, I mean, this is a project I don't think that will ever happen ever again. I don't think anybody else can do this. This is my project. This is what I'm producing. This is my documentary, something I've been talking about for over 15 years. It's my journey to my father's truth, and also just telling a lot of his good things and his highlights that weren't shown in the movie. And, you know, this was a very emotional journey for me. Like, I even start to cry talking about it now. You know, we've been filming this over the course of a year, and I mean, I pretty much break down in every scene. You know, I experienced a lot of trauma behind my father's death, and a lot of people didn't come to my rescue or to be there for me as a child. But now that I'm older and I'm here and I'm asking for people to support and for people to tell their story and also give back to my father. He's gone, but you can still give back to him because he paved the way and made so much possible for all these people.
It's a huge statement. So I know it's a very sensitive thing to talk about.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You guys are gonna see. You know, it's been a stressful journey.
Obviously it's emotional, but what's a fun or laugh? What's something that happens that you think was like something that's fun?
In the documentary, I don't know if you're gonna see too much stuff that's fun, honestly, because it's an investigative documentary.
Right.
You know, it's
not fun. I guess what I'm trying to say, like
cool things you would learn.
Something that's not.
I think
there's different people tell their stories.
I think a lot.
What I meant to say was like, was there anything that like the way that they joked with each other?
You know, honestly, you will learn a lot about my dad's personality.
Right.
He's very funny. I don't think they even that came across in the movie.
Well, that's why I'm saying
you know,
it. That's what I'm trying to get at. Because your dad had that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, people have asked like, you know, I was so young when my father passed away. You know, like, how's she telling his story? I'm not telling his story. I'm going back and I'm talking to everybody that was surrounding him, and I'm putting together all the pieces together, and I'm finding out his story. You know what I mean?
It's almost like documenting your journey and learning all about
documenting my journey, going back in time, talking to everybody that was in his life that mattered, everybody that was around him, especially towards the end, and that was surrounding him at the end of his life. And I'm getting their stories. And you know, there's people that knew my father before he was even Eazy-E. There's people who were with him on his rise, and people who were with him at the end. And you know, they have fantastic stories. And I mean, you would have to watch the documentary to see and find out so much more about my dad. But there's so many layers to him. I mean, it's truly incredible. And I think that he's so worthy of his full story being told, and for people to really understand he was more than just the founder of NWA. You know, just how iconic and how much of a visionary he was and what he saw. And he foreseen this. I will say this, I think that if my father was alive, he would have been the first hip-hop billionaire for sure. Sure, absolutely.
All right. That's incredible. Thank you so much for.
No, thank you so much. I try and come out and
of
somewhat celebrate on his death anniversary, just because I don't like to be sad, and I get sad so much, especially through this process of filming this documentary, and it's kind of become a tradition for me to just step out, have dinner with friends, and have
celebration of life.
Celebrate his life, you know, so that I'm not home doing this, crying and looking crazy.
Two quick things, and I'll let you go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song that he ever did?
My favorite song by my father is "Real Motherfucking Cheese." Definitely.
All right.
I'm like, look, you see, I got my little beanie on tonight. You know, we're a little gangster, you West Coast. No, that record, it's just so much fun. It's just
I see on TikTok, No More Questions has been popping up on TikTok.
I've seen one TikTok.
No, everyone's doing it because it says "Tell me about your life as a child," and everyone's using that.
Oh my god! Then I gotta make one. I haven't even made a TikTok yet, so maybe that'll be my first TikTok.
That's it. It has to be because that's trending.
So
right?
It's the No More Questions. So
of
what are
course,
they doing?
they start with the thing like "Tell me about your life as a youngster." He goes ruthless, you know, and everyone does this thing. I mean, there's even ones where like someone's dog's running. And
I might. You know what the thing is? Why I haven't made a TikTok? I don't even know how to use it. I'm still young, but I'm like a little older than the young kids.
Right.
So I don't know, one of these TikTok famous people needs to reach out and help me learn how to do TikTok.
Help.
Somebody who's like big on TikTok. I don't know.
There's a bunch,
I don't know the
Charlie,
Addison Rae and the Charlie and
them.
Dixie, all them girls. Somebody help me out, please, because your girl does not know what she's doing on TikTok.
Okay, that's it. That's a call for help. There we go. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate everything, and
thank you.
God bless and wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
You take care. Have a good night. Be safe.